Hello everyone, my name is Surbhi. I am Assistant Professor from Ramesh Institute of Vocational and Technical Education. This lecture is lecture number 33. It is from Industrial Pharmacy 1 BP 502T. So today's topic is we are going to learn about formulation of injections, sterile powder and large volume parenterals. Okay, so let's move into the lecture. Parenteral products. In the previous lecture, we have understand what is a parenteral product. It should be have a very sterile preparation. It should be free from any kind of a microbial contamination. Majority of parenterals are formulated as a solution due to ease of administration. We need any kind of ease of administration inside it. During the formulation, aseptic environment should be maintained. In the previous video, I have told you in a particular aseptic environment, aseptic chamber, aseptic area, we need to have order in which microbial should be easily maintained, microbial contamination should be easily removed. That's what we need to formulate inside the parenteral products. Okay, there are lots of things that we are included inside the particular parenteral products. That is number one, antioxidants. Antioxidants are those agents that protect from oxidative degradation. Example is ascorbic citrates. Okay, antioxidants are basically used to protect the particular formulation from any kind of oxidative degradation. That's why these are being added. These are all kind of additives that are included in the parenteral products while during the formulation. Today's topic is we are going to understand the formulation of a parenteral product. So these are the additives that we are going to learn one by one, and then we are going to understand the process, how it is getting processed. Okay. Number two, we have buffering agents. Buffering agents are majorly prevents the change in pH. pH is very much important because your particular formulation is directly incorporated inside your systemic circulation. In order to prevent it, in order to prevent the pH, in order to prevent the change in pH, we have to make sure that buffering agents should be majorly added. What are the majorly buffering agent we have? We have acetates, we have citrates, phosphate buffers, so that it prevents any kind of a change in pH. Then we have bacteriostatic agents. What are bacteriostatic agents? Bacteriostatic agents, from the name suggests bacterio matlab bacteria, static means anything that stops. Okay, so they prevent the microbial growth in the solution, mainly added to a small volume parenteral, multi-dose small volume parenteral, example benzyl alcohol. These I have told you in the previous lectures also what is a small volume parenteral, what is a multi-dose small volume parenterals. Then we have a chelating agent. In case of chelating agent, they form complexes with metals, ions, which may cause chemical reaction leading to degradation. Example EDTA, disodium EDTA. Chelating agent majorly causes chelates. It causes combination. They form complexes with metal ions, which may cause chemical reaction, because in a formulation, if we have a metal ion, these metal ion, what they do, these metal ion causes chemical reaction and that degrade the particular formulation. We know that our parenteral product need to be incorporated inside our systemic circulation. So for that, we need to have all the particular materials that need to be taken care of. For example, incorporation of any kind of extra metal. We don't want metal inside our formulation. So in order to prevent it, we are adding the chelating agent. This chelating agent helps to prevent the bonding of any kind of metal inside a particular formulation. Then we have tonicity contributing agent. Tonicity, in the previous lecture I have told you about isotonicity. Okay, isotonicity is when we have to maintain the particular tonicity of a particular formulation with our blood. Our blood has a particular tonicity, so our formulation should be normalized, is equal to that of blood. They are used to adjust the tonicity, example dextrose or NaCl. Okay. So this is the particular additives that we are adding in a particular formulation. Number one, that is very important, antioxidants. These antioxidants are helpful for prevention of oxidative degradation. Number two, we have buffering agent. Buffering agent, what they do, they help to prevent a change in pH. We don't want any kind of a pH change. Then we have bacteriostatic agent. These, what they do, they stop the particular growth. Then we have chelating agents. What chelating agents do, that chelating agents form complexes with any kind of free metal ions that is present inside the particular formulation. We have metal ions inside it, right? We have metals that is roaming here and there. So chelating agent, what they do, they make chelates. And we have tonicity contributing agents. Tonicity contributing agents, they maintain the tonicity of the particular blood. Example NaCl and dextrose. You have to understand all these examples, you have to learn all these examples because it is very much essential and scoring in your exams. what is the procedure of formulating a particular medication, a parental product. Okay. So, for for formulation, we have to take water for injection, that is 10% excess than recommended is taken in a stainless steel container. Okay. Why we are taking it in a stainless steel container? Because we have to autoclave it. Okay. First step is we are going for water for injection. We are taking water for injection in a stainless steel container. That stainless steel container is then autoclaved. Tank is sealed and heated for 121 degrees Celsius for 20 minutes. Why? Because we are autoclaving it. Okay. What we are doing, what we did, we took water for injection in a particular stainless steel container. Then we sterilized our water for injection in the autoclave from 121 degrees Celsius for 20 minutes. Okay. Then we have pressure developer slowly released and temperature reduced to 60 degrees Celsius. What we are doing, when autoclaving has been done, the product is sterilized. What we are doing? We are just removing slowly, we are just removing the pressure slowly, we are decreasing the temperature to 60 degrees Celsius, so that we are able to easily remove it. Then 30% water for injection separated for future use. Okay, we will discuss why we are separating this kind of 30% water for injection in the further, this will be used later on. Okay. Then we have remaining water for injection at 60 degrees Celsius, dissolve buffering agent by vigorous mixing. So, what we did in the previous slide, I told you we are taking water for injection. What we did, we autoclave it at 121 degrees Celsius for 20 minutes. Then we just hold it for 60 degree, we hold it for few time, so that the temperature can come to 60 degrees Celsius. When it is coming to 60 degrees Celsius, we isolated some 30% of weight water for injection. We just isolated some amount, that is 30% water for injection, and the remaining, that is 70%. What we did? We dissolved buffering agent by vigorous mixing. We dissolved the particular buffering agent by vigorous mixing. The solution is cooled at 25 to 30 degrees Celsius, and active drug and preservatives and other ingredients are added. Okay. What we did? Basically, the solution is cooled at 20 to 30 degrees Celsius, and active drug and preservatives and other ingredients are properly added. Final volume is adjusted with previously separated water for injection and mixed. So, what we did, basically the previous solution we have 30% of water for injection, that has been we have previously, plus 70% that we just added, that we just formulated, is being mixed together, and it is being separated for water for injection and prepared for further use. Okay. This is what your preparation of water for injection. Okay. Now, we are going for dry powder or a sterile powder. Dry powder is suitable for those drugs which shows physicochemical instability when formulated in a solution, suspension or emulsion. Why we need a dry powder? Because there are some drugs that are not stable when we are making any kind of a solution, formulated in a solution. So, for that we are making dry powder. All we know is that when dry powder should be mixed with any kind of a solvent, then it is incorporated inside a systemic circulation, right. So, dry powder are meant for reconstituted before administration with water for injection. Dry powders are prepared by vigorous methods: freeze drying, aseptic crystallization and spray drying. These are the techniques through which we can prepare the water dry powder. Number one, we have lyophilization. When we are lyophilizing the particular powder, we are removing all the excess water content solvent from the particular mixture. Okay, we have aseptic crystallization. When we are forming the crystals, we are going for the aseptic technique where we are forming the particular crystallization. Then we have spray drying technique. Spray drying technique is also used for preparation of dry powder or sterile powder. Okay. In large volume parentals, we have parental suspension and we have parental emulsion. These are two major preparations that we are going to discuss today, okay, one by one. In case of parental suspension, as we all know, when we have a suspended particle inside it. I told you what is suspending agent. Suspending agent is when we are adding inside it when we are preparing the particular suspension. Okay. Vehicle, mainly water for injection, used as a vehicle. Methyl cellulose, CMC, is used to reduce the rate of settling. In case of we have a suspending agent, what suspending agent do? We have a solution. Okay. In case of suspension, we all know that we have particles inside it, right. Lots of particles are settling inside it. Okay. This is called as suspension. these are particles inside it. We want it to settle down, we don't want it to settle down. So, in order to reduce the rate of settling, we are adding different vehicles, or we are adding suspending agents inside it. Wetting agents are polysorbate, lecithin, alcohol, glycerine. These are acting as a wetting agent. We have flocculating agent, example toluenes, hydrophilic polymers and electrolytes. These are flocculating agents inside it. Parental suspension also have suspending agent. This is what we are talking about. Suspending agent prevent the settling of the particular product, because we know that in a solution there are lots of particles suspending in the particular preparation. Okay, we don't want it to settle down. We don't want it to settle down. In order to prevent it, we are adding suspending agent. Example is sodium CMC. Preservative we are adding. Preservative prevents the microbial contamination. Example methyl paraben, propyl paraben and preservatives that we are going to add. Procedure, how we are making the particular formulation. Step 1, we are the preparation of NaCl and drug paste. Okay. NaCl and water for injection are taken in a wide mouth bottle made up of Pyrex glass, and mixed insoluble drug is added above solution to form a paste. What we are doing, if we have a container, we have a Pyrex glass, okay, what we are adding, water for injection and NaCl, means water for injection is the one thing we need, then we need NaCl, both are mixed in a particular Pyrex glass, and mixed insoluble drug is added to above solution. Whatever drug, mixed drug we want to add, it is being added to the above solution, and then we have to keep aside for autoclaving. So, what we did, we added NaCl, we added water for injection, and we added our drug. All these things are added in a particular mixture, that is a Pyrex glass, and mixed in a insoluble drug is added to the above solution to form a paste. Okay, this is a step 1. Step 2, preparation of sodium CMC solution, means suspending agent. I told you, in preparation of any kind of parental suspension, we need to have suspending agent, so that it prevents the settling down of the particular particles. So, for that, step 2 is preparation of sodium CMC solution. Okay. Water for injection at 180 degree Fahrenheit is placed in a glass container. Water for injection is placed in a glass container and agitated to form a vortex. What is a vortex? Vortex is basically a whirlpool. Whirlpool, when the water is being rotated in a circular motion, it causes whirlpool, that is called as vortex. So, what we are doing, water for injection at 180 degree Fahrenheit is placed in a glass container and agitated to form a vortex. After that, sodium CMC is added. Slowly sodium CMC is added in a formed vortex and mixed vigorously to avoid formation of lumps. Okay. We do not want any kind of a lumps, resulting solution is clarified and filtered. In short, what we did water for injection. Okay. I told you water for injection at how much? 180 degree Fahrenheit. We take water for injection at 180 degree Fahrenheit. It is placed in a glass container. ठीक है, हमने इसको, we are going to add it in a glass container. Then we are going to agitate it, means we are going to mix it. When we are mixing, it will form a vortex, it will form a whirlpool. Okay, it will start forming a whirlpool. Then we are going to add number 2, we are going to add CMC, sodium CMC we are going to add very slowly, so that all the lumps formation should not be there. There should be no lumps formation. At the end of the day, the clarified solution is what we wanted. Okay? So, in the first step, what we did, we prepared the NaCl and drug paste. Okay? I told you, we are taking NaCl, water for injection and drug. In the second step, we are taking suspending agent. We are doing the preparation of sodium CMC solution, that is a suspending agent. This is how the sodium CMC solution is prepared. We are mixing it with water for injection. We are adding the CMC and then we are forming all of it. Okay. Then we have third step is preparation of wetting solution. Required quantity of wetting agent, that is polysorbate 80, is taken and water for injection at 180 degree Fahrenheit is added. We are taking the polysorbate 80 and we are adding water for injection at 180 degree Celsius. Okay? Because wetting agent is also important. Then we have step 4, preservation of preservative solution. Preservation of preservative solution, whatever solutions we are adding, whatever particular formulation we are making, it should have a preservative, because if we are formulating any kind of aseptic preparation, if there is no preservation, it cannot be stored for a long period of a time, right? Because we need to, it's not like that we are preparing a medication and we have to use it for next day or day after tomorrow. We have to use it for a long time, for months, for years we have to store it. So for that we need to have a preservative inside it. This preservative is very important in case when we are formulating any kind of medication. So preservatives is dissolved in sufficient quantity for water for injection. Number 5, we have sterilization. What we are doing? In case of sterilization, components prepared in step 1, 2, 3 and 4 are subjected to autoclave. Whatever we have prepared from 1, 2, 3 and 4, what are 1? What is 1? 1 is preparation of sodium chloride and drug paste, number 1. Number 2, we have suspending agent we prepared. Number 3, we have preparation of wetting solution. Number 4, we have preparation of preservative solution. In charo ko we have to sterilize it. We have to sterilize it where? Autoclave at 121 degrees Celsius, 15 psi for 20 minutes. Okay? You have to just autoclave it as per mentioned guidelines. Then aseptic formulation, all the components of the above step are combined under laminar airflow with constant stirring. What is a laminar airflow? In the previous video I told you what is a laminar airflow. In short, let me tell you, laminar airflow is a kind of aseptic chamber where we are formulating a medication and there is no contamination. It has HEPA filter inside it. That HEPA filter is high efficiency particulate air. High efficiency particulate air. Okay, what it do? Basically, it prevents any kind of microbial contamination. It removes all the microbes inside the particular entering of the formulation. Okay, so what are the different steps that we just followed? Number 1, what we did? Preparation of NaCl and drug paste. Number 2, we formulated the suspending agent. Number 3, we have wetting agent solution. We have preservatives. All these things are we are going to sterilize it. Then at the end of the day, after sterilization, all these things are getting formulated in aseptic formulation. Fine, we are just mixing all of it with constant stirring and we are going to get a particular formulation. Okay. Now let us talking about emulsion. In case of emulsion, everyone knows what is an emulsion. It's a stable preparation which have oil and water in it. Oil and water in it. We all know that oil and water cannot be mixed. Okay. So, in order to mix it to form a particular stable thing is called as emulsion. The preparation which is intended to prepare it by mixing oil phase and water phase inside it is called as parenteral formulation, emulsion. Water in oil emulsion is very good for subcutaneous route. Okay. Some preparation are very good in case of subcutaneous route we can transfer. So, for that water in oil emulsion are very much essential. Oil and water emulsion are intended to be used in intramuscular route, sustained release preparation. Okay. So, both the preparation, that is there are two kind of preparation. Number 1 is water in oil. Okay. Number 2 is oil in water. Okay. Water in oil and oil in water are the two kind of emulsion preparation that we have. Okay. Water in oil, as I told you, is good for subcutaneous preparation. Subcutaneous preparation, and in case of oil in water, it is good for intramuscular IM route or sustained release preparation. So, these are the parenteral emulsion that we are going to form, that we are going to make. Okay. Before preparing emulsion, oil soluble and water soluble constituents are separately dissolved in an appropriate phase. I told you that oil phase we have water phase. Okay. They cannot mix properly. So, what we are going to do? We have to prepare oil phase differently, we have to prepare water phase differently, separately, okay, and dissolved in an appropriate phase. Suitable emulsifying agents are selected for the type of emulsion required. Okay. We have to use a suitable kind of emulsifying agent are selected for the type of emulsion required. We are going for making the emulsion. For preparation of emulsion, emulsifying agent is the key to success. Okay. That is why we need to add emulsifying agent inside it. Okay. So, that oil and water should be majorly mixed. Okay. So, that is what we have. Generally, dispersed phase is gradually added to continuously phase, we have to add the dispersed phase. We have dispersed phase and we have a continuous phase. Continuous phase is which is in more amount, okay. Dispersed phase, what we are dispersing. For example, what is the dispersed phase in oil and water? Oil and water, what is more? Water. Water is more, and then we have incorporated oil inside it. So, water here is a continuous phase, water, and dispersing phase is oil. Okay, this is what your particular oil and water preparation is. Often a more viscous primary emulsion is formed than bulk container continuous phase is incorporated. Okay. So, what we are going to do, I told you, in case of formation of the particular parental emulsion, we have oil phase and water phase. We know that oil and water cannot mix very well easily. Okay. So, that is what we have. We are using emulsifying agent inside it. In case of suspending agent, what we were using? Suspending agent. In case of pharmaceutical emulsion, parental emulsion, we are using the emulsifying agent for that. Okay. So, we have oil and water preparation and water and oil preparation. I told you water and oil is for subcutaneous route and oil and water is for intramuscular route. Why it is a different route? Because of course, we have water and oil, and subcutaneous is oily layer inside our skin. Okay, subcutaneous obviously inside the skin, and we have oily layer inside is the subcutaneous route is inside the skin, and we have oil and water, intramuscular route, and for sustained release preparation. Okay. This is what your particular preparation. I told you oil soluble and water soluble constituents are separately dissolved in appropriate phase. Oil and water are separately dissolved in the appropriately phase. Then we have these dispersed phases gradually added to the continuous phase. These dispersed phase are gradually added inside the continuous phase, and often a more viscous primary emulsion is formed. We need a viscous primary emulsion, and we can add emulsifying agent. Then bulk continuous phase is incorporated, so that all the mixture should be well incorporated, well prepared, well easily suspended. So, two preparation we have discussed here. Number one, we have parenteral suspension that I told you about. We have suspending agent, that is very much important inside it, suspending agent. Okay. Then we have parenteral emulsion, we have here emulsifying agent. These are the things that you need to take care. Emulsifying agent. Okay. What emulsifying agent do? It helps to mix oil phase and water phase. It helps to mix both of them. Okay. What is the role of suspending agent? Suspending agent is basically helps to prevent the settling of any kind of particles, because we know in a solution we have lots of suspended particles inside it. So, in order to prevent it, in order to prevent the settling, we have to add a suspending agent, because the formulation has drug particles inside it that is suspended, and it need to be incorporated inside a particular patient. So, it need to be suspended very properly, it should be shaken and it should be suspended. So, for that prevention of suspension, suspending agents are majorly used. This is how parenteral suspension are being majorly prepared. Then we have NaCl and drug solution, drug paste. Then we have preparation of sodium CMC solution, means we are adding the suspending agent. Then we are preparing the wetting agent by adding polysorbate 80, water for injection at 180 °C. We are going to mix all of it. Then we have step 4, preservation of all the preservative solution, because I told you preservation is quite important and very much essential for all of it. Okay. Then we have sterilization, means all we have to autoclave it at 121 °C for 20 minutes. Then we have aseptic formulation. In aseptic formulation, HEPA filter is always there in order to prevent all the contamination, all the mixing all the components inside it. HEPA filter is majorly required. Then we have parenteral emulsion. I told you in emulsion we have oil and water preparation, we have to just mix it off, and then what we have to do, we have to add emulsifying agent inside it, so that all these things can be mixed very appropriately and dissolved in a very appropriate phase. Okay. So, these emulsifying agent are selected at the type of emulsion required. What kind of any kind of emulsion we need, emulsifying agent are majorly required. All these things we have discussed in this today's lecture. Okay. So, thank you students.